And for some strange reason, my goddamn live stream broke. What the fuck? I just got called to my goddamn live stream was like, I guess shutting down. Based on one damn phone call, but anyways. I wasn't talking about shit anyways. Man. But we will, let's just continue where we was leaving off. I was talking about how this spiritual path is really heretic in and of itself. Because what even is the word heretic? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does heretic even mean in the first place? I know you heard that shit probably before in some religious context. You probably heard that shit in some religious type of context before. That things are heretic. Things being heretic simply means that things are opposing. That things aren't necessarily conforming and confining to the present norm type shit. This is what it means to be heretic in a basic ass definition. To be heretic is to oppose in an extreme way. This is like the textbook definition of what it means to be heretic. To see something which is labeled as normal and you oppose that shit. It is commonly used in religious type of agendas. But it goes beyond religion. It damn sure goes beyond religion when it comes to being heretic. Because heretic, to be heretic, hereticism is nihilism for the lack of better words, man. To be heretic just simply is to oppose something with great force. It is sort of being a dickhead, but for like a moral type of cause. It's more like a rebellious nature, but not in a physical, violent type of sense. It is more intellectual. It is more spiritual, I guess. You know what I'm saying? And that shit sounds like the spiritual path. To be extremely opposing in a mental type of way. In a existential type of way. Essentially, the spiritual path, it is war. It is warfare. At the highest degree, it is goddamn warfare. You just can't slice it. When you're truly on some spiritual type of path, not on some hippy-dippy, yeah, I love everybody type shit. When you're truly on some spiritual type of path, you know what I'm talking about. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Because spirituality is not all about being agreeable. It is actually quite the opposite. Because spirituality means individuality. And individuality, in and of its nature, is not agreeable. Relatability is like the opposite of being heretic. To be heretic is like to be somewhat opposing. Not somewhat, it damn sure is an opposing type of shit. To be heretical. And the spiritual path is goddamn all about this shit. To be yourself. And it doesn't get any simpler than just that basic ass definition. To be yourself is to be heretical towards the goddamn world. You know what I'm saying? Because when you truly are about some spirituality, and I can assume when you watch my channel, you are about some spirituality. And it's goddamn everything. It is in the air, man. It is in the air. If you watch my channel, you are about some spirituality. And when you truly are about some spirituality, you know how you goddamn no longer apply and relate towards the common structure of the world, which is just business, entertainment, religion, politics, and entertainment. If I didn't say that already. The famous 5 pillars. Shout out to Dono. The famous 5 pillars. Spirituality makes you less relatable. In the sense of not you being necessarily isolated. It can lead that way. But less relatable in the sense of you don't relate to the world no more. I mean, you still have your social skills. Don't get me wrong. Well, I don't know. I don't know if you do got social skills. But spirituality is, the gist of what I'm saying is, spirituality is not agreeable with this world. At least some true spirituality. Because true spirituality is getting to the root of things. And nobody gets to the root of things. Nobody has the proper starting points. Everybody is confused in some sort of religion, some sort of education, some sort of entertainment, some sort of business. You name it. Everybody is lost in something without knowing the proper starting point. And spirituality is knowing the right starting points. And when you see the basis in which the world was built on, you see that you can't relate to this shit. Because you see the phoniness, you see the weirdness, you see the goddamn iffiness, you see how goddamn weird it is, you know what I'm saying? Beyond the moral, not necessarily beyond, but rather in a moral type of POV. You see how morally weird this world is, you see how weird the building points the starting points of the world even are, man. And this is what kinda initiating the very early seeds of you becoming heretical towards the world. We will get into it. We will get into it. You know what I'm saying? We will get into it. 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 So the thing is, I was even forgetting what I was saying. Yeah. I remember. To be heretical is to no longer apply and to no longer necessarily relate towards what's common, towards what's already a thing in this world. And think about what's already a thing in this world. What is a thing in this world? Who makes things in the world? And we're talking about spiritual type of shit right here. We're not talking about some physical shit. It is a spiritual thing, you feel me? It's a spiritual thing, man. The motherfuckers who are like labeling and controlling what's canonized in this world, from an intellectual point of view, are not allowing certain things to be like brought to the surface. They are not allowing for certain information to... I know it sounds very conspiracy type of timing, but it has some true basis, it has some true root to it. The motherfuckers who are like controlling what's canon and what's not canon, they damn sure pick what's canon and what's not canon. Because you have to look at things from a real perspective. What's canon in this world is not working for anybody. School is not working for anybody. Religion is not working for anybody. Business is not working for anybody. And that's like kind of debatable. But like religion, education, science, and existential type of terms, they don't work for anybody. Their philosophies, and there is just what's made normal. Don't get spooked out when I say there, I'm talking about the world. As if the world was one person, was one character. What's in this world is not working. As far as religion, the things which build your mind basically. These things ain't working whatsoever. So when you see that these things ain't working, you have no choice but to become spiritual. Because spirituality is initiated through separation, through feeling, I guess, kinda alone. Because when you don't relate to what's normal in this world, you feel alone. You damn sure feel alone. You know you don't want to be religious no more. You know you don't want to be in some sort of education no more. You know you don't want to apply to these doctrines no more. Hence, you separate. And now you're left on your own, trying to figure things out on your own. And now you become heretical. Because what you think is here supposed to serve you is not even serving you in the first place. They tell us, if you have mental issues, go to this type of institute. If you have problems, visit this kind of school of thought. If you have certain doubts, visit this type of church. And when you truly see that these curriculums, which are like recommended to you via promotion, which is available, which is accessible in your immediate environment, if you see these things ain't working for you, you see, let me take a bite. You see, you have to come up with things on your own. You have to develop things on your own. And now you're getting into a conflict with the whole world. With like agents, and if you bring it like to a higher level, people who are like in direct control of these type of faculties you up under. As far as intellectual school of thoughts, religion, you name it. Things which build your mind basically. Because when you teach yourself, when you educate yourself, when you're truly self-made, as far as intellectual capabilities, seeing the world from your POV, building your own self, beyond some characteristic type of timing, it is included. But pretty much if you're self-made, when you're self-made, you get into a conflict. Because you see people who ain't self-made. You see people who are building their mind based on what's popular, based on what's normal. You feel me? And they get kinda confused and I guess kinda disorientated when they see you, who is building himself or herself. Somebody who's building him or herself is bound to cause confusion towards somebody who is like crafted, for the lack of better words, by common institutes. like religion, schools, philosophy, science, from other things. You know what I'm saying? You're basically bound to cause confusion and friction. Because the world lacks faith. The world lacks faith, big time. Y'all lack faith, man. Beyond some religious type of shit. Y'all lack faith. In the sense of, y'all are not even brave enough to educate yourself. Y'all are not even courageous enough to finally start to learn things on your own. The first thing you run to is Plato's theories. The first thing you run to is, I don't know, man, what Jesus was saying when he was moonwalking on the goddamn Atlantic Ocean or so. This is what's the first thing you run to when you build your mind. Damn, I heard Jesus was hitting the moonwalk in the goddamn Atlantic Ocean. What was he saying? Oh yeah, the first thing you're doing is running back to Jesus or some shit like that. Because you lack faith when it comes to building your mind. You just can't. Because human beings are like not evolved whatsoever. They are like trained to be like a hive mind. They piggyback off each other, which is like damn near the opposite of being an individual. If you need an association to build your mind, if you need 10,000 philosophers to build your mind, you are like a common human. You are like the common motherfucker. I love to break it to you. I don't hate to break it to you. I'm the type of person who loves to break it to you. I don't hate to break it to you. I love to break it to you. I love to break it to you that if you need others to build your mind, that's it. You're like no different from a bee. You're no different from a goddamn animal. Because this is what animals are doing. Barely any animal is alone, developing their own shelter, their own way of living, their own way of, I don't know, operating their own life, you name it. And this is what humans fall victim to. You don't fall victim to shit, but this is what your own stupidity is doing. Your own stupidity is leading you to need an association to build your mind in the first place. And this is like the birth of retardation. Now you have like a Steve Hawking brain. One side of your brain is paralyzed, and the other brain is like damn near on life support. You know what I'm saying? It gets crazy. It gets fucking crazy. But this is what humans are doing. They just can't be on their own. They just need somebody. It is like children. It reminds me of children who need mommy and daddy to even operate. Because if you leave a child alone, the child is like left to die. For the lack of dramatic words. Actually, this is what's going to happen. If you leave an infant alone, the infant won't survive on its own. But we can take this to a mental level, because grown-ups are not grown-ups. Grown-ups are like, I don't know what they are, but they're damn sure not grown-ups. So I don't know what y'all are, but y'all damn sure not mental adults. We can take that shit a step further. Let's just take it a step further. Let's just go extreme. Let's just go crazy. Let's just raw dog this motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's just take it a step further. Your mind is like an existence of itself. And that existence, that body of yours, is not built by yourself on your own time. It is built by somebody else. It is raised essentially, okay? It is raised essentially. The same way a baby is raised by somebody else. Your mind is raised by somebody else. Who else? Who is raising my mind? Well, it gets kind of iffy to say who exactly is like in charge of the quote-unquote world, but let's just make it simple. Let's just keep it broad in general. Your mind is built by the world. Let's just make it simple. Let's just make the world a character, as if the world was one person. I know it's not that way, but let's just make it simple for like simplicity, for the sake of simplicity. Let's just look at the world as if the world is one person which is communicating to you. Let's just make religion, basically. Let's just create our own religion. Let's just anthropomorphize goddamn wisdom. Let's just make religion for a sec. And the world is like teaching you for the negative. Because look at how you are. Look at how you're functioning. Look at how you're moving. Look at how you're dancing. This is like the product of the world, which is raising you. The world is raising you to a large degree, and the way you are, it is not desirable. I'm not talking to anybody in specific, but let's just make let's just make a role play. Imagine that I'm talking to the whole world right now, so don't take personal offense. I'm talking to everybody right now, and nobody in specific. Goddamn contradiction, but it is what it is, man. But the gist of it all is, the way you are right now, it is not desirable. The way you are right now, it is not something which is something to be proud of. I damn sure can be sure The way you are right now, it is not something to be proud of. You know what I'm saying? It is not. It is evident that you can't be proud of jerking off 24/7. It is evident that you can't be proud of, I don't know, needing somebody else to think 24/7. You know what I'm saying? And so this is just all coming back to bad parenting. Bad adults who raise your mind. They've done a very bad job at raising your mind. You know what I'm saying? But to avoid this shit, you just have to train yourself. And it doesn't even get hard. I wanted to say it gets kind of hard training yourself. But in all actuality, it doesn't get hard. It's not hard training yourself. Because it is not necessarily something you have to think through a lot of logic. It is just all learning from life. It is just being in existence and learning from life itself. That's not hard. That shit ain't hard whatsoever. Learning from life is not hard whatsoever. Because you don't need any hard thinking to figure out life. See, this is something the world is teaching y'all asses. They teach y'all in school that you need to think 24/7 to figure something out. Okay, children, solve for x. And now you like have to do 10,000 calculations to solve for x. Okay, children, analyze this text. And now you have to put in 10,000 train of thoughts together to analyze this text. So the indoctrination of the world is that you have to be like a mental gold Olympic medalist at thinking to figure something out. But to figure something out, you don't have to think at all. You just merely have to be alive. Because thinking always comes after the fact. The only time a lot of thinking and a lot of analyzation comes in handy if you try to if you try to like dissect and understand and experience after the fact. Big keyword, after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Shout y'all out, shout out to Cameron Milliken, shout out to Kyrie, shout y'all out, man. 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 But fuck that shit. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit, man. The spiritual path right here becomes heretical. And something to be heretical simply means it is opposing what's normal. That shit is opposing what's already made normal. Because the word heretic is often associated with religious affairs, with religious agendas. Because to be heretical is traditionally understood to oppose church. But the whole starting point of being heretical simply means to not succumb, to not abide, to not accept things for what they truly are. And this is spirituality one-on-one. Spirituality one-on-one is not to simply believe things. Spirituality one-on-one is to think for yourself, to see life for yourself, to question things, to build shit up yourself and challenge your belief. This is what spirituality is. It is building your own belief about life, which is not a subjective thing. It is life itself. It is understanding life itself beyond some doctrine. And you being willing to be challenged. Because spirituality is not for the weak. It is not something for hippy-dippy spirits who are just like, oh yeah, I just want to smoke weed, jerk off, eat some shrooms, and watch Joe Rogan all day. No, I'm spiritual. Yeah, spirituality is not some shit like that, man. It is not enough to eat some shrooms, jerk off, watch Joe Rogan, and then you can call yourself spiritual. It goes a little deeper. It goes a little deeper than that. It goes a tiny bit deeper than that, man. You know what I'm saying? It goes a tiny bit deeper than just eating shrooms and jerking off to Joe Rogan streams or something. I don't know what the fuck y'all doing nowadays, but it goes a little deeper than that, man. It goes a little deeper, ladies and gentlemen. But seriously though, when you're spiritual, you're up to debate, which simply means you're up for a fight. A debate is a fight mentally. Spirituality is like strength, at least not even per my definition. This is the definition. Spirituality is strength to handle life, to make life into your favor, to handle things which are like more beneficial to your favor type shit. Because a lot of people who label themselves as spiritual, the first thing they're saying is, I'm so sensitive, I need to lock myself in a cage and just meditate in my cage and become one with the universe. So when I die, I will no longer come back. It's all faulty. It's all spooky type of knowledge. Because spirituality is often understood to just hide from life, lock yourself in your room, and just meditate. But spirituality goes a little deeper than that, man. It goes a little deeper than just meditating because you try to run away from goddamn life itself, man. That's some stupid shit. That's some stupid shit, man. You're truly spiritual when you're able to gain so much strength that nothing can bother you, that nothing can no longer affect you. Spirituality is truly a success when you have a character, when you are a person who can't be persuaded by anything. And people label you heretical if you're spiritual because you go against goddamn everything. Jesus, fuck Jesus. Muhammad, fuck Muhammad. Science, fuck science. You go against anything. To the point people label you as heretic and like a radical. Once again, humans are like wired to think in a group setting. What's normal in a group setting is like the alpha and omega for a human. What's right, because I meant to say, they don't go any further than just accepting what's made normal. And what's made normal is just a lot of people coming together, creating something everybody agrees on. And that shit is not necessarily right. Majority is not always right. Majority rules, I know, but majority is not always saying the truth, you feel me? Shout out to Miguel Antoine, shout out, man, yes sir, shout out, man, shout out boxer, man, shout out, man. Shout out to the goddamn boxer, man, shout out. Just because everybody agrees on something, that doesn't mean that what everybody's agreeing on is actually right. It's actually true. It's actually about something. But sometimes y'all just need to put the fries in the back, man. It doesn't get any simpler, man. A lot of y'all need to put the fries in the back, man, because what everybody is preaching is some bullshit. And just because everybody's sucking your meat up, oh yeah, I think therefore I am. Just because everybody's applauding and clapping for you, no more pause. That doesn't mean you're right. It doesn't work that way. So I don't know what makes y'all think that majority is always right, but it doesn't work that way. And I'm bringing up majority because majority is like the opposite of being on the spiritual path. Because this spiritual path, in a way, not in a way, it is all about you. It is all about your individual natures. And that obviously is opposite of going with the crowd, of associating yourself in a crowd and just going by everybody's opinion without even thinking on your own, without even regarding your own individuality. But this is what everybody's doing. That's what everybody's doing. Everybody's religious, okay, I guess I have to be religious. Because I know a lot of people in my real life who became religious because of their friend circle. Anytime I'm asking them, bro, why are you even religious? They are saying, yeah, everybody in my friend group was religious, so one day I just hopped into the goddamn church, and now I believe in Jesus too. And see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what the fuck I'm talking about. Put the fries in the bag. Put the goddamn fries in the goddamn bag. Because that shit will never help anybody. That shit will never evolve anybody. Just going along what's made normal because everybody agrees on one common denominator. That shit ain't getting us nowhere. At least you. That shit ain't getting you nowhere. And now you become... Now let's just say you become spiritual. And you disassociate yourself from all programs you were previously associated to. Now you become like... Hold on a second, I need to check my quality. Is it straight? Now you become like... Hey, yeah, we fucking straight today, what the fuck? For the first time ever I'm not lagging. For the first time ever I'm not goddamn jittery. For the first time ever, I don't look like Steve Hawking or something. Yes, sir, man. We straight as fuck today, man. Yes, sir. But let's just stick to my point. Let's just say now you become spiritual. Let's just say now you stick to your spiritual path. Now everything becomes obsolete. What the fuck? Everything becomes obsolete. Whatever you thought was normal will no longer be normal. And by default, if you express an opinion which is not agreeable, everybody who agrees with that opinion you're no longer agreeing with looks at you like you're stupid. They look at you like you have some sort of mental issue or something. You like now you are the weird one all of a sudden. Now you are like the crazy one all of a sudden. Now you are cringe all of a sudden. The moment you think for yourself, the moment you no longer agree what's like made normal in this goddamn world, man. But who said that shit ain't even an issue? Who said that shit is even an issue? Because it ain't. It damn sure ain't. It is not an issue whatsoever. At least not in my books. At least not in my goddamn head. Because who gives a damn about being agreeing? About being like relatable? Who gives a damn about being validated? Who gives a fuck about being agreed with? All that matters is yourself. And that shit looks heretical for a lot of people. That shit looks like very evil for a lot of people. Putting yourself first for the lack of cringer words. For the lack of less white girl type of terminology. Putting yourself first seems heretical for a lot of people. But who gives a fucking damn? Who gives a red flying ass about what other people label yourself as? Who gives a red flying ass, man? I know I don't. I damn sure know I don't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, man? You know what I'm saying? One thing about spirituality, which I keep on seeing in my real life, is that kindness will get you nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Because kindness towards strangers, towards people you don't even know, is a very dangerous thing. Especially if you're in some sort of business environment. Especially if you know that your environment is full of sharks. Being nice is often interpreted as, he doesn't have any boundaries. So before you even open yourself up, before you even become vulnerable and like, oh yeah guys, this is me, this is what I stand for, yeah guys, before you even go into that type of train of thought, you need to assert some sort of dominance, for the lack of stupid words, in the sense of you just need to be your purest self. Because when you are honest, when you are your purest self, when you no longer give a fuck about anything, that evokes respect. That evokes some sense of boundary others won't cross whatsoever. You just can't be out here with the mindset of, yeah guys, I wanna be friends with everybody. Yeah guys, I wanna be relatable towards everybody. Yeah guys, I wanna be nice and peachy creamy with everybody. You just can't run around with that type of mindset whatsoever. Because that mindset is creating a lot of weaknesses to be exploited by others. And don't think I'm tripping. Don't think I'm being like too skeptical and too like, I guess, too close-minded. Because this is reality. Try to be so nice in your first day of job. Try to be so goddamn nice at your first day of, I don't know, work or something. And see what happens. Especially if you're working. Especially if you're like asserting yourself in your job environment for the first time. You just have to act accordingly. And you have to read the room. You should be like, okay, this person acts like this. This person acts like this. But you need to analyze people first before you open yourself up. Not in the sense of directing your behavior towards the behavior of others. It is more like being smart and having discernment, reading the room essentially. You have to read the room. You have to see what type of timing the room is having, is possessing. And based on you reading the room, you can express certain things which are like reciprocated in that room. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any simpler than this one. It doesn't get any simpler and more intuitive than this one. You know what I'm saying? But life is not, and spirituality in life, that shit is not all about being nice. That shit is not all about, yeah, I want to have so many friends. I want to be one with everybody. See, this is like indoctrination. Trying to be one with everybody. First of all, that ain't even a thing. Because everybody is different. You just can't be one with everything. Unless you don't exist. But as long as you exist, as long as you have some sort of individuality, you can't be one with everything. You're barely even one with yourself. You're like divided in yourself. But we have people preaching, oh, I want to be one with everything. I want to be one with the universe. See, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way whatsoever. It ain't working that way. You just can't be, Like, my ear's ringing, what the fuck? But you can't be one with everything. While being first of all divided within your own self, and while being alive. That doesn't work that way. It's like a weird, religious, La La Land, hippy-dippy type of teaching. To be in union with everything. The only thing you need to be in union of, and the only thing you can be in union with in the first place is yourself. Other than that, you can't be in union with shit. It doesn't work that way. It's life's nature. Because life's nature is opposition. The moment you relate, opposition comes to be. It is life's nature. Union can only be a thing if you're relating towards something which is identical to you. And in reality, that's not the thing. That doesn't happen. It will never happen. You will never see something outside of you, which is not you, which is identical to you. Hence, union outside of yourself is not even a thing. Union is only a thing which is like inside of yourself. It is like purely self-orientated to be in union. Because you are identical to yourself, for the lack of logical terms. You are identical to yourself. So you can merge with yourself. Your mind can merge with your spirit. It can dissolve in the space of your spirit. But anything else, you just can't merge with. You have a hard time relating to your family members. So what makes you think you can merge with the whole universe? That's not even a thing. That's not even reality, you feel me? It damn sure is not even reality. Because when you are at McDonald's at your goddamn job, when you're putting the fries in the bag, you have issues relating with people because nobody is like you. Hence, you can't be in union with everything outside of yourself. That shit is not in existence. That shit is not in existence whatsoever, ladies and gentlemen. Why am I even saying this? I am saying this to furthermore underline how heretical the spiritual path truly is. Because spirituality breeds individuality, and individuality breeds opposition. Without opposition, there can't be any individuality. When you agree with everything, you just can't expect to be an individual. And don't get it twisted. An individual is not marked by just opposing mindlessly towards anything, but opposing to the right things. There are things which are made to be opposed, I meant to say which are meant to be opposed, and there are things which are meant to be agreed with. But when it comes to being on the spiritual path, it just so happens that you oppose more than agree. Because this world is not God. God is not in this world. This is not God's world. Hence, you have to oppose with damn near anything. Because I don't want to agree with anything which is not made out of God, which is not made to defy my limits type shit. And God is just, for like everybody who's wondering, what do I mean when I say God? God is just you accessing a less limited state. You being in a state which is limitless. This is what, per my definition, God is. Limitlessness. And this world is full of limitations. The moment you step out of your goddamn door, what you see? Limitations. Obstacles. Friction. Hence, this world is not God. Because this world is not here to set you free. If that was the case, mental illness wouldn't be at an all-time high. If that was the case, sickness wouldn't be at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? This world is just purely ill. It is ill, it is sick. Hence, it is not God's world, because this world is keeping your limitations. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't like to goddamn relate to a world which is full of limitations. I guess this is where spirituality kicks in. Where being heretical kicks in. Just to be opposing towards the right things. And what's even right to oppose, to make it even more simple? To make it less abstract, goddammit, I can't speak. To make it less abstract. What's meant to be rejected is something which is limiting you. And that's it. It doesn't get any simpler than that, man. It doesn't get any simpler than that, man. I'll be right back, give me a second. Yes, sir, yes, sir. And one thing about being like heretical, aka being on the spiritual path, is to defy tradition. Because tradition is like the most textbook example of humans being hive-minded. Tradition happens if a lot of people come together and relate on one denominator and make one thing normal. This is like the birth of tradition. An association coming together and making one thing normal. Now we have some shit like holidays, religion, you name it, countries, rituals, you name it, you name it, you name it. But when you start to become spiritual, that won't even be a thing for you too, to abide towards tradition. Because tradition is also man-made. Tradition is also made by the hive mind, by a lot of people coming together and making something normal. It's some motherfucking bullshit, man. This is some motherfucking bullshit. And it only gets hard to be on your, oh my goddamn rose is falling apart, man. What the fuck? My goddamn rose is falling apart, man. What the fuck? I heard you can eat roses, but I don't want to eat this goddamn rose. It kind of looks nasty. It kind of looks disgusting. I don't want to eat that goddamn rose, man. I heard you can eat roses. Still won't do it though. But spirituality or like individuality only gets hard if you value others too much. If your eyes are not inside of yourself and if they are outside of yourself 24/7. What does that mean? What does that mystical ass statement mean? What does that goddamn philosophizing ass statement mean? It simply means when your focus is on everybody else, by default your focus won't be within your own self. Now you lose yourself. Whoa, what the fuck, my phone almost fell off. Now you lose yourself. And when you lose yourself, you have nothing more left. Because you are all you have. You are all you have, man. Once you lose yourself, that's it. That's it. There won't be anything else left to be when you don't have yourself no more. And now, when you don't have yourself, you don't have the strength to be something on your own. It sounds self-explaining, but if it's so self-explaining, why nobody's doing that shit? Why is nobody doing that shit if it's all so self-explaining? If it's all so simple, why is nobody doing that shit then, huh? I guess I guess it's not so obvious after all, huh? I guess it's not so self-explaining after all, huh? And it's full of shit. Everybody is just full of shit, man. I can't lie. Everybody is full of shit. You can't convince me otherwise. You can't convince me otherwise. Y'all got me fucked up. Got me seriously fucked up, man. Saying things are all so simple, but when it comes to practicing what you preach, oh, now things are like different. Now things are like, now it gets kind of iffy. But when you hear comments, everybody knows that shit. But when it's time to do it, now it becomes difficult. Oh, y'all full of shit, man. Y'all just full of shit, man. Y'all are full of shit. Y'all can't convince me otherwise, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna fucking lie, man. But spirituality only gets harsh. Spirituality only gets hard if you neglect yourself and if you value others over your own well-being. It sounds very simple, very cliche, and very obvious. But that shit goes very deep, actually. That shit goes extremely deep. To the point, you have idols. You have people you worship. But you fucking never worship yourself. You never become your own idol. Why? Like belief. As I was saying at the beginning, human beings have a faith deficiency. Human beings have like an issue when it comes to belief. Not belief in the religious sense, but belief in the esoteric sense, in the internal sense. When it comes to that, humans have a huge issue. Humans have like a deficiency, a faith deficiency. They have so much faith in everything outside of them. In their president, in their favorite UFC fighter, in their favorite rapper, in their favorite, I don't know, porn star. They have faith in so much things. But when it comes to themselves, the cup is empty. And do you know why the cup is empty? The cup is empty because it has been poured out to everybody else. The cup is like, there's nothing left. Because you've given all your waters, all your faith towards everybody else. So when it comes to giving it to yourself, there's nothing left no more. There is nothing left no more. And you will be thirsty. Good time to drink some. Shout out to you, Sensei. Shout out. And seriously, this is what's happening. Your cup of faith is empty just because you have put everybody else above and first. Everybody else above you, and you put everybody else first. And you come last, and you are all the way beneath in your pyramid, in your goddamn hierarchy, when it comes to who you have faith in. On top might be Jesus, then might be Donald Trump, then might be your fat girlfriend, and then we see you, maybe we see you somewhere. Maybe we see you. But that's a big maybe. It's a huge maybe. But before yourself, you can see everybody in existence. And you are nowhere to be found when it comes to you having faith. It is weird. It's all our responsibility. It is your fault, which is not making it tragic. With that being said, what the fuck are you doing? With that being said, go get back to work on some slavery type shit. Go get back to work, but get back on the internal work. Don't get back on some physical work. A lot of people have a weird tendency to fix their inner world with external work, but it doesn't work that way. It's like living backwards. You doing things to make you feel better. While in all actuality, you should feel better and then you do better. It is not the other way around. You doing something and now you feel better. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way whatsoever, you know what I'm saying? And once again, the spiritual path becomes heretic because you defy what's normal. You go against what's normal. You oppose what's normal, period. This is what it means to be heretic. You oppose what's normal. And it's good to be heretic. It is very good to be heretic. I like to be heretic because what's normal is not something I like to agree with. I don't like to agree with like normality. Presidential elections, voting for somebody's party, going out to drink, jerking off 20,000 times a day. Hell, oh my god, I don't like to be normal. I'm sorry, I don't like to be normal. I like to be weird. I like to be cringe. I like to do too much. I don't like to be normal. Because what's so great about being normal? What's so great about being normal? You have to look at what's made normal. What's normal is to just work a job, go home, and idolize somebody else for entertainment. That's what's normal. You have a job, you go home, and you idolize somebody else for entertainment. I don't want to do that shit. I don't. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. Don't quit your job, okay? There's nothing wrong with having a job or to idolize somebody. Well, when it comes to idolizing somebody, everything is wrong with that. But there's nothing wrong with having a job. But there's just a purposelessness in the lives of human beings, which is like, which is like, atrocious. The purposelessness of a human being is creating so much meaninglessness in their life, which creates so much suffering. It's just like, this is like nihilism. You don't believe in anything, and life becomes meaningless. So you become like idled. You become like, wow, whatever. You just live vicariously, day by day, without having no purpose, without having no meaning in your life. The word purpose is very fancy, so let's just stick to it. You don't have any meaning in life. You have nothing to believe in, especially not something within yourself. And this is what's normal. To be like in some sort of loop of meaninglessness, of doing things repeatedly for no purpose. This is like the Greek allegory of Sisyphus. That dude who was like pushing the stone over the mountain just to roll it down and repeat that task. That's like the life of a human being. They're pushing a boulder they're pushing a boulder on top of a mountain. And when the boulder is on top of the mountain, they push it down. And then they will pick that boulder up again and do it all over again. Push that boulder up. Now they roll it down. Now they push the boulder up. And now they're doing this again and again and again and again and again and again and again. For no reason. For no damn reason. Keyword, no reason. Because this is just an allegory towards living day by day. Living a daily routine, which is like similar, which is like a pattern, without no meaning. That's like the textbook definition of hell. It doesn't get any more hellish than this. Having a routine which is like identical to the previous day, but you lack meaning in that routine. I know why mental illness is so skyrocketing high. I know why mental illness is so peaking nowadays. Because nobody has meaning in their life. Nobody knows what they live for. Hence life becomes suffering. Hence life becomes a burden. Now everybody's mentally ill. It is in fact very logical. It is very logical. And to fix that shit, it is time to be heretical. It is time to defy what you thought is normal and dive into a more unconventional layer of your being, which is being yourself. Being yourself is unconventional in this world. If that ain't proof for mental illness, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Being yourself is seen as unconventional, while in all actuality, being yourself is the most normal thing in life, period. And I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. There we go. There we go. I just figured something out, ladies and gentlemen. I just figured something out, man. My views are fake, part 2. Oh, let me check it again. Let me check it again. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, I see what's going on. I see what's going on. I see what's going on. Because anytime I'm leaving YouTube, I have 2 more views. At any time I dive into YouTube, 2 views are leaving. My views are fake as fuck! What the fuck? Before I was leaving, I was having 2 views. I'm coming back, I have 7 views. Let me check it again, Hold on a sec. This is way too interesting. Hold on a sec. This is way too interesting. This is fucked up! This is fucked up, what the fuck? Every time I refresh my life, my views start to change. Phoniness, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking phoniness, man. Fucking phoniness. Goddamn phoniness to the max. Ling ling ling, who's calling? Goddamn phoniness. Who's calling? Hello? Steve Hawking? Who the fuck is calling? Who the fuck is messing with my numbers, man? Which Steve Hawking ass is playing with my numbers? Somebody in the call center is doing this right now. Yeah. Somebody is doing this right now in the call center. Yeah. Let me mess with his views. Yeah. Let's just subtract two more views. Yeah. Man, y'all ain't shit, man. They make a job out of faking views. Somewhere in this world exists a job in which your whole entire task is to fake views. I want that job too, man. Just to sit on my ass in a dark ass room, being on a computer, doing this all day. Doing this all day. Yeah. Let me fake somebody's views. Yeah. Man, so, oh my god, oh my fucking god, man. Somewhere in this planet is a job in which you have to fake somebody's views. Let me check it again. Hold on a second. Hold on. Okay, we back. We straight. Is we straight? Yeah, we straight. This shit is fucking crazy, man. It's crazy. You said our peep. It's crazy, you wait, sensei. It's goddamn crazy. It is crazy. But fuck this shit, man. It happened again. It's fucking ridiculous. It's goddamn ridiculous. But this is actually a good segue to my next point. I don't have any points. I'm just making shit up while I talk. I'm freestyling while I talk. Only a few people have the ability to make up points while they talk. Just saying. I guess this is why people are jealous. They just can't talk like me. You know what I'm saying? They can't talk yet. They can't talk like your boy. They can't talk like your boy whatsoever. But jealousy is like the right keyword to my next point, which I make up in an instant. Right on the spot. Jealousy is like often confused as having hatred for no reason towards you. When you see somebody who's hating you for no apparent reason, like I think y'all know this. This is very common in like a job environment. Somebody is acting extremely weird towards you for no reason. And to like be more specific, extremely weird means they try to extremely control you. Why? They ain't even your manager. Like especially if you're like young. You have some old ass bitch, some old ass grandpa who's trying to tell you things out of the blue. Who's trying to be your boss out of the goddamn blue. And you're not even doing something. You're not even doing something. Which is like worthy of being pissed off about. You're not even doing anything. Anything wrong, I meant to say. But for some strange reason, somebody has the need to control you. Somebody has the need to have dominion over you. It is weird. But I'll tell you what's going on. Anytime this is happening, you have somebody who's deeply pissed off out of insecurity by your character. Especially if you're like cool in this job area. You could have everybody laughing at your jokes, everybody's liking you, everybody's feeling you, and out of the blue, there is somebody with some power trip, with some ego trying to control you, or for no reason. Some shit like that only happens because that person is jealous of your character. Jealous. Because they can't fit in like you fit in. And you're not even trying to fit in, you're just being you at that point. Jealousy for no reason is like hatred for no reason. And the other way around. Hatred for no reason is jealousy for no reason. And that shit happens if you have something somebody else could never get. It goes beyond money. It goes beyond money, ladies and gentlemen. Because somebody could be like rich as fuck. And they still could be jealous towards you. Because it's a mental thing. It is a mental thing. When they don't possess a certain character, but you possess a certain character which is attractive, all hell will break loose. They try to make up reasons why you ain't shit. Keyword, they make up reasons. They become like Walt Disney when it comes to creating a narrative around you. They become like Steven Spielberg when it comes to plotting a movie on how you ain't shit, man. It is crazy. They just write a whole script based on a fantasy which is predicated towards making you look like you ain't shit. This is what people waste their time on. Instead, they just could create a channel on their own. Instead of doing that bullshit, they could be creative on their own. Woo! Woo, ladies and gentlemen, this world is finished, man. While you are hating, when is somebody else on my goddamn... Hold on a second. Yes, sir. Like while you was hating, you could just invent certain techniques to become somebody yourself. You said, little kid for you, make me scratch my head, man. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get any further, man, because at the end of the day, these are little children. They are just children in their head. They're very immature. It is very immature to put somebody down just because you feel jealous. And anybody who's trying to put you down looks like you're above them. When somebody is trying to put you down, it is because they look up to you. Yeah, you have to really peep the terminology. When somebody's looking up to you, they are trying to pull you down. Nobody can pull you down if they weren't beneath you. If somebody's above you, they can pull you down. They can just pull you up type shit. But when somebody's beneath you, yeah, they can pull you down all day. It is very childish. Extremely childish. Because with all that wasted energy, you could make up practices to beat somebody too. And now you don't have to be a dickhead no more. I guarantee you, if you see somebody who's being a dickhead, when they get validation, they stop being... It gets them moody. it gets them in their feelings. Because if a person is not getting something which is in the heart chakra, they get moody. They get like bitchy. Observe that shit. Observe that shit. It's really real. Let's just say your heart chakra is full of trying to get validation, and you don't get your validation met. Now you start to become bitchy because you don't get your feelings met. You don't get your feelings fulfilled. Your feelings are not being catered to. And this is what happened in this world. Everybody has some sort of validation issues in the heart chakra. And if they don't get the heart chakra fulfilled, they start to become moody. They start to become, but my validation, they start to trip. You know what I'm saying? And that made the point. Ah yeah, it's like the cancer energy. If the cancer is not being comfortable, if your heart is not being fulfilled, you start to bitch. You start to be like moody for the negative. And this is what's happening to everybody. They don't get their desires met. They don't get what they care about matched. Hence, they start to whine. They start to act like little children. Oh my fucking god, man. Oh my fucking god, man. Oh my god, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Oh my god, man. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you see how ridiculous everything is I'm talking about? Don't you start to see how ridiculous things are when you truly break them down? It sounds cringe. It sounds like almost comedic. Like as if I was exaggerating over the nature of a human being. But I'm not exaggerating. This is in fact what's happening. This is in fact reality. Let's make I can't speak, I'm retarded. Let's make it a roundabout. Let's make it a roundabout. After everything I said, take one thing into consideration. People ain't shit. People ain't shit on no level. So you should feel no hesitation to be heretic. You should feel no hesitation to be like radically opposing towards the norms and values of the world. When you are considered normal, something is wrong with you. So switch it up. Switch it up, man. Switch it up, man. Switch it goddamn up. As far as you can, man. Switch it up. As I was saying 1,000 times to this point, switching it up seems heretical. Because you go against what's normal. But, again for the 1,000th time, what's normal is not something which is desirable. What's normal is not something which is admirable in the first place. So if people hate you, boast about it. I spit on my goddamn screen, what the fuck? Boast about it. Rejoice about people hating you. Because people hating you is actually a good sign. At least if sick people hate you. And you could be goddamn good with you can have like a surety behind assuming that 90% of the average human being you encounter ain't shit. So if anybody's hating you, don't make a big deal about it. Don't. Why do you make a big deal about being hated by somebody who ain't shit? That doesn't make any sense, man. With that being said, be hard. Be hard, yeah, be hard, man, be hard. Like some goddamn Mason. Yeah, be hard, man, be hard, man, be hard. Be goddamn hard. Because one thing we can learn about being hard, no homo boss, is that we should seriously shorten our level of care in this world. There's nothing valuable to care about but yourself in this world. Everything outside of you is like irrelevant. It sounds radical, but what's radical is heretical. And what's radical and heretical is also spiritual. Funny game of words, man. I know, funny game of words, but I think that shall be enough for today. If y'all wanna say anything, oh, what the fuck? If y'all wanna say anything, what the fuck? Zoom out. If y'all wanna say anything, say it now because your boy is leaving soon, man. If you don't have any questions, drop your questions now because your boy is leaving in a goddamn segment. In a goddamn segment, you know what I'm saying? Just don't be afraid to be a dickhead. To make everything short, don't be afraid to be a dickhead, okay? Don't be afraid to be a dickhead. To make this 1 hour into one sentence. Don't be afraid to be a dickhead. And this is all you need to know for this goddamn live streaming. This is all you need to know. This spiritual path is heretical. It is in fact heretical. And it's good. It is good that the spiritual path is heretical. Okay, we're back. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that shall be enough for today, man. I appreciate y'all for joining in. So shout out to everybody. Shout out to Cameron, Milliken. I don't even know if you're real, tell you the truth. Yeah, I might not be real, but shout you out, man. Shout you out, man. If you are real, I apologize. Shout out to Kyrie, shout out to Miguel Antoine, and shout out to US Sensor, man. With that being said, your boy's out. I appreciate y'all for coming in. Yo, one thing, oh my god. I got copyright strike today, man. What the fuck? I got copyright strike today because I was stealing beats. My boy was stealing beats, man. And one of my songs is like put out of YouTube, man. Oh, they got my ass. They caught my ass, man. They caught my ass stealing. They caught my ass stealing beats, man. What the fuck, man? Fuck y'all, man. I ain't buying y'all beats, man. I ain't. Fuck y'all. I'm not buying you beats. I'll go ahead and steal another one as a matter of fact, man. I won't buy beats. Y'all can't make me buy a beat, man. Fuck y'all. I am not buying y'all beats. But my goddamn song was like being put down, man, which is like goddamn annoying. Shit was hard as fuck, man. But anyways, I'll just go and make a new song. I'll just go and make a new one. That being said, y'all boys heading out. Peace out. I appreciate y'all. And see you guys soon enough, man.